Trying to figure out whether that's the shade of green that'll mess with the screen or not.
I'm sure we'll find out. Back in 1994, Michael Jackson was sued for plagiarism after a lady called Cartier noticed that the song Dangerous was suspiciously similar to one of her own songs. Michael Jackson eventually got that case thrown out of court by singing to the entire courtroom.
I'm not actually familiar with the song Dangerous. Which one was that?
Well, it's not one of his biggest hits, but for anyone who doesn't know, Dangerous was the lead single from the album of the same name released in 1991. Like many of Michael Jackson's album songs, they were both a critical and commercial success, with most people saying that they enjoyed it, with the sole exception of Cartier.
So who was Cartier?
She was a songwriter who claimed that in 1985 she had written an identical song to Dangerous that Michael Jackson had, in her head, stolen without credit, and she sued him for plagiarism. And the whole thing went through the courts. In 1994, Michael Jackson had to appear in court to defend himself against these accusations. Also, we're above making, a Michael Jackson abuse joke, so instead, please enjoy this clip of him just opening fire on an entire nightclub with a machine gun in one of his videos. I love Michael Jackson's music videos, and it's weird that they never became fodder for GIFs. Because the clip we've just shown him, just from Smooth Criminal, opening fire on a nightclub with a machine gun while dressed in this Colgate white suit is pretty fucking hilarious. It's like the idea that, oh no, how am I ever going to fight off these bad guys? In this pure white suit while dancing. The thing is though, Michael Jackson as well, we all know him as Captain EO from Disney.
I don't know him as
Captain EO. Do you know Captain EO?
No.
He's made a music video for Disney where he's Captain EO. He's like a superhero. And he's got his own music video. It's 15 minutes long. It's like this musical experience. Put a clip in of Captain EO. Captain EO's awesome. Fans of Michael Jackson are well aware of this court case because it's one of the few times the notoriously secretive singer ever revealed his songwriting process.
And what was his process?
He wrote all of his songs in his head. He was that fucking good. He wrote and composed all of the songs in his own head. And then what he would do is, once he'd written them in his head, he'd beatbox the sound of the music into a tape recorder and then layer the lyrics on top of it with the help of his sound engineers. I'm not sure if we'll actually be able to put clips in of this because I know for a fact the Jackson estate is very, very aggressive in protecting, their intellectual property. So if we can't put in clips of this noises, there will be links below you can go click on to hear Michael Jackson doing this. Because I've listened to them and they're actually amazing. There's one he's done of Beat It, where it's oh yeah, here's how I do Beat It. And he can do the drum loop with his voice perfectly, beatboxing the drum loop, and then he does the guitar riff over the top, also with his voice, and then he sings on top of that, and it's amazing. The most impressive part though is that Michael Jackson was reportedly so good at this, he would go up to session musicians who were brought in to record his albums, and then they tune their instruments based on his voice. So say for the tune for Beat It, he goes and goes, okay, well, it's do 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 do, and they play it on the guitar and they go, oh no, that's not right. It's got do 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 do, and they go, oh, okay. And the idea that you're just in the studio, it's okay, so what are we playing today, Michael? We've got any sheet music. Oh no 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 no. You don't need sheet music. Oh, it's all up here. It's okay, Michael. Thinking, we did hear he was a weird one, and then they just hear him perfectly beatbox the entire fucking song. Oh.
What do you even fucking need us for?
What do you even need us for? Well, I can't do this on stage. Well, that makes sense.
So why was this his chosen method?
Of recording songs? Well, this might surprise people, given the wealth of content he released as a musician, but Michael Jackson couldn't read sheet music or play any instrument with any real degree of skill. So he would instead just compose all of his music in his own head and then just beatbox it into a recorder, and that was apparently good enough. It's so odd that that's the way he composed all of his songs, and obviously it sounds kind of unbelievable. And as you can imagine, the courts weren't exactly convinced when they asked him, oh, so how do you record your music, Mr. Jackson? He went, oh, I compose it all in my head first time. And they're thinking, okay, you got some good songs, but no one's that fucking good. That's not true. And then what he did is in court, perfectly beatboxed, I think either Billie Jean or Beat It, to the jury and the judge. and then sang the lyrics over the top, and they were there going, holy shit, he can do it. Oh my God, and I believe, again, there are transcripts of this where you can hear Michael Jackson talking and doing it. I'm not sure if we can share them. They will be linked below if we can't. But they're fucking amazing. Because you just hear him talking to his really soft voice. Oh, well, what I normally do is I beatbox. The drum thing is like, just straight into like this sick beatboxing solo.
I was riding in my car and it started with the bass lick again, which goes...
And then it cuts off and he's like, and then I'll layer the guitar music on top. Immediately go straight into the guitar solo.
And on top of that, I hear the chord.
And then I'll do the lyrics. And then he sings, and it's like, oh my God, that's amazing. And he does that on the fly.
Then the melody, she was more like a beauty queen from a movie scene.
But, like, obviously, just doing it in court wasn't enough. As impressive as this performance was, the judge still needed to ask Jackson, so how did you compose a song Dangerous? To which he responded, well, I recorded it in exactly the same way you've heard there. To which the judge asked, do you have any proof? To which Michael Jackson said, of course I do, I record everything. Here are my demo tapes from 1985, which you may recall is the same date that Crystal Cartier claimed she recorded her version of the song.
Slam dunk by Jackson.
That is like, so like, oh, the exact date she said she recorded hers. Here are my demo tapes dated to that, which are all recorded by me and feature my voice and are like meticulously dated and recorded because they're all from my vault, which has been like meticulously maintained for like decades.
So obviously now she has to pull out her evidence from 1985.
She said, oh yeah, I wrote it in 1985. So obviously the court said, well, Miss Cartier, do you have any proof whatsoever that what you're saying is true? Like, do you have anything, like a piece of sheet music, a demo reel, anything dated to 1985? And mysteriously, when she realised that Michael Jackson had exactly that, she suddenly couldn't find any proof that she recorded a similar song in 1985. She could only find that she sung a similar song around the same time the album got released.
It's weird, that,
It's weird, that, isn't it? It's almost like she ripped him off, isn't it?
Why would you take someone to court with no evidence?
Because she obviously didn't realise that that's how Michael Jackson composed his music. She obviously assumed like, oh, one of his session musicians must have heard me play. Because obviously he did use session musicians, which is fair enough for her to assume. But no, she didn't realise that Michael Jackson was solely responsible for composing every single element of every song. And that he'd done it all entirely in his own head, on his own, 6 fucking years earlier. Because obviously Michael Jackson had so many ideas. What he'd say is like, I'd record a bit of music and I'd just put it in my vault. And maybe I'd revisit it at a later date. Maybe I'd like save a drum loop or a lick for a guitar song. Or sometimes I wouldn't. Or sometimes I'd save lyrics. And that's how basically he wrote songs, and he pick and choose. And that's why, like, even today, like years after his death, they say he's probably got like another century's worth of albums.
Yeah, they released an album a few years back. I remember listening.
Same thing with Prince. Prince was like also notorious for like not releasing a lot of music. So he was so prolific in his output. And they've said we could have a new Prince album every year for another century, and we wouldn't even get halfway through his fucking vault with all the music he's got in there. Like Michael Jackson was similar. He was just so prolific in music. He literally couldn't release enough albums to like cover all the music he did, and he just had all these ideas and bits and drabs everywhere. He's that guy, you know, who's just got like 40 open tabs at all times. It's like, oh, they're just ideas I'm working on, and then opens more tabs. You know, like it's always nice to have ideas and then more tabs. It's like, Michael, this is getting ridiculous. Yeah, but you know, I always have ideas, more tabs. Michael, this is getting to be a problem. His computer's not loading up, and you're like the fucking modem noise every time he boots his computer. Michael, this is not healthy. Because no, it's fine, more tabs. No. Open link in new tab. Michael, it can't handle it. No, I need more tabs. And you're dragging him away. It's like, I need more tabs. There's a Wikipedia page with a blue link. I need to click it. It's like, no, Michael, get back. And that's how it works. As a result of the fact that Michael Jackson provided an unbelievable amount of evidence that he was the sole writer of the song Dangerous, and the fact that Crystal Cartier couldn't provide a single shred of evidence that she'd written the song when she claimed she did, the courts had no choice but to throw the entire case out, presumably leading to Michael Jackson moonwalking out of the courtroom while giving Cartier the middle finger. Since we're talking about Michael Jackson, can we please talk about Signature for a bit?
That dance troupe from Bristol Got Talent?
Yes, because I don't think enough Americans know shit about Signature, and they need to know, because I remember watching that, and that cracked me the fuck up. If people don't know, Signature is a dance group, and I think they're still going, and it's a Michael Jackson impersonator. Like, we've all seen them out there, there's loads of them. But the twist they have is they have this big bearded Indian dude who interrupts him midway through his Michael Jackson routine to start dancing to Bhangra music.
The first performance they did of it, he came in as a cleaner.
And people thought...
Yeah, people thought, why is this cleaner on stage?
People didn't realise, right? Brad will put a clip in because it's fucking amazing. And I love Bhangra music. I don't know what, I just really love Bhangra. It's so happy, and I love like the dance to it. Like, do you know, like the proper like where you, I don't understand how they do all that. And they combine Bhangra and Michael Jackson, and it's fucking phenomenal. I love it. So I want to talk about it just because I feel like more people need to appreciate how sick, awesome that is. I remember watching that live, and I laughed for a good 2 minutes when just that, like the big bearded guy comes in, and he's just dressed like a shot, he's just sweeping up, and the guy dressed as Michael Jackson is moonwalking around in a circle, and that guy can do a fucking moonwalk, by the way. Like, he does the moonwalk, but in a circle. I didn't even know he could do that. He looks like he's trying to summon Satan. I wouldn't be surprised if he had paint on his shoes, you see a pentagram on the floor. He's channeling some sort of evil energy to move that swiftly on his feet. And then the guy comes in and he rips off like his fucking shopkeeper's smock and reveals like this sick, awesome, like fucking Bhangra outfit, and then just busts out the sickest dance moves I've ever seen while the Michael Jackson impersonator's like... And then they combine
They start doing it in
It's
unison,
so
don't
good.
they?
So good.
See, Signature were pretty good, but if we're talking about Britain's Got Talent and things being amazing, we've got to talk about The Dog.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Right, don't even get me started on that. Right. American, you're going to learn something today. Right. 1 year, we had a fucking dog win it. A dog. The most talented Briton in all of Britain was a fucking dog. Like, people going on and they were doing like dance moves, there were singers, there were magicians, there were comedians, there were people who could do backflips and like trassos and parkourists and all that bullshit, and it was won by a fucking dog. And here's the worst bit, for its final act on stage, it walks across a tightrope. So, oh wow, we've had a person cut a woman in half on this show. We had like Signature a couple of years ago. We had like a guy combining perfectly Michael Jackson and Bhangra. But okay, let's watch a dog walk on a fucking tightrope. It turned out after the fact, the dog didn't even walk on a fucking tightrope. They got a stunt dog in to do it. So technically, that dog's the most talented dog in Britain because that's the one who did it. And it still fucking won.
Wasn't there a load of shit afterwards saying that, like, you've tricked us by making us think that this one dog did all the tricks?
Yeah, and they got a stunt dog in to do it, and the woman said, oh, it's not my fault, my dog's scared of heights. So why make it do that? How did you discover that? Oh, I try to make it walk a tightrope. Don't do that to your dog. You awful, awful human being. And then they lied about it. And then they try to pull one over on us.
You get a bit heated, aren't you?
It pisses me off. That year, the most talented Briton is a fucking dog that can't even walk a tightrope. God damn it. Signature should have won, man. They were wrong. Should have won every year. Those guys are great.